daughter's cause?
It's really a wonderful feeling because for a long time I felt like I was asking for things, and even though everybody was saying, oh, we agree with you, we support you, it's one thing for people to say it or click, they sign a petition online, but to come out on a Tuesday night in the middle of their schedule, their busy lives, that means a lot to me.
Can you tell us just, we know your story, but summarize it again for us and what your fight is for?
Right. What happened is in preschool, Devyn got a seizure alert dog. She had life-threatening seizures where she turned blue, was having trouble breathing. The school district was very, very much in support of the dog during her preschool years. It was on her IEP, which was her education plan, and then when we moved to kindergarten, they just took the dog off the plan with no discussion against doctor recommendations, and for 2.5 years, I've been fighting for them to put the dog back on the IEP, because if the dog's not on Devyn's plan, that means I have to send in a separate person to be with the dog every day, instead of just having her one-to-one aide help her with her dog, which worked really great in preschool. And also from Devyn's perspective, to have an aide and a handler and a dog with her all day long is not least restrictive. It's definitely not free and appropriate because I'm paying for it out of pocket. And the person who's working with Devyn, all the people who worked with Devyn, see the value of the dog and think it's important, and they would be happy to help her with their dog. It's the district that won't let them.
How much are you paying out of pocket?
I'm not really supposed to comment on
That's
that.
okay. What response have you gotten from the district?
The district has always said they welcome the dog if I pay someone to send it in. That's basically been the only thing that they've told me. They say, we're not breaking the law, but the Department of Justice thinks they are. The Department of Justice does not fly in from DC and investigate you for a year and try to negotiate a compromise if you're not breaking the law. What Gates is trying to do is push this out so far and have me cost me so much money that I'll give up and not make it to federal court. But if we have to go to federal court, I'll go there. I just think the taxpayers should know that their lawyer gets paid with our tax money when they could just compromise.
Can you back up and tell us the disease that your daughter has and a little bit about her?
Yep.
So we can learn about her?
Yeah, Devyn is 7 years old. She has Angelman's, which is a rare genetic disorder. Happens in about 1 in 15,000 kids. It's like having really heaping doses of autism and epilepsy. She's nonverbal. She needs help with all day-to-day tasks. She had trouble walking before Hannah. She used to have a lot more seizures, but with Hannah can tell us ahead of time, and sometimes we can medicate and bypass the seizure altogether. Hannah also knows how to disrupt a seizure. If Devyn's having trouble breathing, she can actually interrupt it and help Devyn come out of the seizure more quickly. So those are amazing gifts, but they're also the part with walking. Devyn was never supposed to be an independent walker. Kids with Angelman's are usually in a wheelchair. But the dog gives her confidence and strength, and the difference between her in preschool when she first got the dog till now is amazing.
And is she on task? Is she in first grade, or where does she fall in the school district?
She's in second grade.
Second grade, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. This all started in kindergarten, and this will be our third year that we're having to send in a handler to school.
Okay. Your message for the board?
My message is I hope that you take a look at all the people standing in this room and realize that I'm not speaking alone, that I'm not the only one, and that it's not fair to tell a little girl she can't have a dog she needs because she can't speak. You can't you can't discriminate against somebody based on their disability and expect the community to be okay with that. It's not all right.
Okay. Thank you, Heather. Anything else you'd like to add? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Guerrero, thank you. I'm with the Democratic Chronicle. Covered a lot of ground with Amy, so I don't have to ask much more. We seem to be at a stalemate of some sort.
Yes.
What does it on the horizon look like when you just break the stalemate? Where do you think that it's going to come from?
I think that really will come from public pressure. I think that they have to know that we're not going to back down. Right now, they really honestly thought that nobody would come out and talk and speak and stand up for me. They thought that I was just that little old Heather, that's giving them a hard time and writing them letters, and 200,000 people went on our Facebook just last week, so that gives me power in numbers. I feel like hopefully they will reach out to the DOJ now and look for a negotiation, because otherwise we're going to federal court.
Okay. Now, the person that's helping your daughter that you're paying for, the ideal person, whether it's the person you're using or not, would be a person who could work with the dog, correct me if I'm wrong, work with the dog. Communicate with your daughter, and then translate the lessons to your daughter.
Right.
Okay.
She has a one-to-one aide already and a one-to-one nurse.
Okay, so she's got two
She
people.
has 2 adults already that the district pays for to be with her all day long. They just won't let either of those people talk to the dog. They said Devin can't talk to the dog, and the staff are not allowed to talk to the dog as well.
Why?
They said they think that ADA law, they're looking at one little part of the law that says that it's the parent's responsibility to take care of a service dog if a child cannot. But they're negating and not referencing all the parts of the law that say that the school acts in place of the parent every day. So they're using an argument that doesn't work. That's why the DOJ didn't agree with their argument. That's why we'll go to federal court over this. They're fighting something they can't win. They're just hoping I'll give up before we get there.
But is it, under the circumstances, if you have 2 people being paid for by the district, if they gave the okay for any one of those 2 to communicate with the
wouldn't have
dog,
to send in-
the district wouldn't have to pay another
Yes.
penny.
Exactly. They don't have to pay any more money. I provide the training for the for the aide.
Which is what
It-
happened in preschool.
I was gonna say,
When
she was in Jackie's preschool
when
class.
She was in preschool, there was one person
Who
who
did it
handled
out.
Devin and the dog, and a nurse down the hall that took care of her medical needs. And it worked beautifully. There were no problems. And the problem came when she moved into school age, and they didn't want to have the same person do both
They-
jobs. Yeah. Mind-boggling.
That's why for 2.5 years I've been shaking my head and thinking that they have to snap out of this. This has to be over. They can't keep saying the same argument. It doesn't make sense.
I know you don't want to speak money, but it looks like money is the issue.
Right.
It's a huge financial burden for
But
them.
I guess I get hung up on the fact that I don't care how much money I have to spend. They are not following her civil rights. She has rights as anybody does, and a school district is supposed to care for your children. So I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this purely for the philosophical reason that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to put your child on the bus and not worry about what's going to happen. You're supposed to know that your child's health is going to be okay when they're in school, they're going to be cared for, and their education is going to be cared for. I can't put Devin on the bus knowing those things. I have no peace of mind unless I send somebody in, because they are saying they're not responsible for those things.
Right, and one other thing, and I don't want to hold you. Money again. You don't want to speak about how much you're paying, but do you know how much the budget, the school district
I know
budget is
that-
set aside to
I
provide?
can say, I can comment on, I've gone to 26 meetings in the last 2.5 years. Every single meeting, Gage Charlie has an attorney that they pay hundreds of dollars to come to the meeting. So the taxpayers have paid all that money already to fight for 2.5 years. Literally, they have spent more fighting me than it would have cost to accommodate her, because it literally costs nothing to accommodate her. This is a free accommodation.
We aren't asking for more.
We're asking for less.
They wouldn't have to pay the aide anymore. All we want is for us to be able to train her aide that's already with her to talk to the dog.
I understand. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me take your name as well.
Jen Haronsko.
Jen?
Yep.
J-E-N?
J-E-N-N.
And?
Yep, H-O-R-O-Z.